Have you ever had this moment is when you're in a situation that you feel like you almost died, but then your body lived in a certain way? I personally never had that kind of experience, but this artist called Lu Yang, he was once in an airplane, trapped in the turbulence, and he saw this big flash of lightning. At that split of second, he thought he left his body. According to him, that split second make him feel this really great peace. There is no panic, no fear, but a sense of freedom. Because of this experience, he created this really interesting avatar called Doku, a virtual self, freed from the human body. Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Paris. This channel we explore the intersection of art, technology, and creativity, all these fun, interesting projects I've seen lately. I want to share in this new video series. I want to bring you to those artists' world to rethink about our reality and digital world. In today's video, I want to talk about how Lu Yang's near-death experience bring him to create this digital reincarnation and how his Buddhist background make this work so interesting, and what does mean for us, like our identity in the digital world, the creativity, how unlimited possibilities that we can create using the technology and our own avatar, and of course the future of self-expression. Let's get started. Yeah, the moment when he felt he left his body, that was in 2020 when he start to create this Doku, this digital avatar. After having this experience, he keep asking himself, what if the identity that we carry is just illusion? And I think that's also because he has this Buddhist background. So he created this character called Doku, the self. Doku is from this Buddhist phrase, I think. Dukusho, dukushi, is in Chinese is 独生独死, and in Japanese character it means the same. It means you're born alone and you die alone. So I saw his work in this exhibition called Machine Love, Video Game, AI, and Contemporary Art. When I entered the space, I wasn't sure what I'm looking at, but the whole setup is aligned with the video project he had, keep playing at the front. I feel kind of religious somehow. I feel like I'm in some kind of ritual space. Not a church, not a temple, but somewhere between that. I saw this genderless body, like Terminator, coming out from nowhere. And then I also saw his face like a robot, like formed by itself. I also see he dance like a K-pop dancer and sometimes dance like in some religious space. So it's very random, and each world he created have a different self. And I did a little research and I want to know what make him make all these kind of forms of himself showing up in different spaces. Very philosophical ways of present himself in the video. It's really interesting because the fluid transformation from one space to another is the world he created in the virtual space. And the Doku is him, but it's the virtual avatar of him. But each avatar is completely based on his own face. So it seems like he created this digital avatar using high fidelity 3D face scanning and then capturing 50 different expressions for this hyper realism face structure and facial expression. He can move his eyeballs, he can make his facial expression as vivid as possible. And then I watched some of this interview. He was talking about how he was fascinated about Indonesian dance. So because in Indonesian dance, people can dance with their face and the eyeballs move. So he want to use that, but of course himself cannot do that. But in the virtual world, he can use this digital self avatar to create that sense of dance, the practice of dance. And he was also saying he wondered if human can train themselves as a robot in some way and then dance and move in certain ways that they can't do, but robot can do, which is, yeah, seems like it's a big world in his head that he want to explore and research about. And then also some of the dance, as you can see, is like a K-pop dance. So in each space, there's different himself, dance in a different way, expressing different ideas. There are 6 realms in the video that he present. So the 6th space represent 6 spiritual states based on Buddhism. It's inspired by the Buddhist concept of reincarnation. So there's heaven, asura, human, animal, hungry ghost, and hell. No wonder why. In the moment when I watch it, I feel chills, and then some of them looks quite creepy. It really makes you feel like some of them are like ghosts, some are like robot, and you just kind of in this fluid transformation of his world, questioning about his born and reborn, and each versions of him act and dance very differently. It's super bizarre and interesting at the same time. Yeah, this is the first time I saw something combine avatar culture, K-pop culture, religious, Buddhism, right? And then like futuristic elements. So it's very refreshing to see things like that. And I've never really seen anything like this. It made me think a lot. So before I get to talk about my thought, I want to give a little bit background about Buddhism. The concept of self in Buddhism is such a big thing. My parents are practicing Buddhism, not like true religions, I have to say. They're not practicing every day, but I heard about the Buddhism since I was a kid. It's all about forget about yourself. Because the self, the identity, it's more consists of your experience. It's always changing. It's not fixed. And then if you want to have no pain, you have to let yourself go. And that made me think how interesting the connection between the avatar and Buddhism, because avatar is no self. It's like updated version of course not, it's not a living thing, but it is a part of your persona. And then when he's moving through all these different realms or different spaces, he's constantly shifting his identity, and each identity doesn't really have this form of fixed identity. Does that make sense? That's why it's really interesting to think about how we represent ourselves in the virtual space and online space. Because I always think about, for example, when I use VR headset, using my avatar into the virtual world, there is no me, because I don't have to be myself in that space. I can be whoever I want to be. I don't have to show people who I am, and it's kind of liberating in so many ways. That's why at the beginning, when I was using avatar face tracking myself, it's because I feel really self-conscious to show my real face. I mentioned it so many times. And that kind of experience made me realize the power of technology. The power of using technology to experiment different you. Anyway, I really do think people should keep trying to use your avatar to see how you feel behind it, or in the VR world, just to feel, because you never know what you like. Some people really feel that digital embodiment make them feel more like themselves. Also, for the avatar that I use, it doesn't look like me at all. Like, it's just a really cute character I built. But with the face tracking, I feel like, oh, it's kind of like myself. But I want to try one day, if the technology is very easy and accessible. I want to try to have avatar look exactly like me, and present myself in different places, different platforms, and see how I feel about myself, because it looks like me, right? How do I feel in that kind of sense with using the avatar? And I think that's not really too far from us. I think a lot of people will start to have avatar using AI to present yourself in different way online or different spaces. Of course, we have to be cautious about it, but it is really interesting to experience that. What is kind of scary is, what if one day that you in the virtual world, because of AI, and it actually can grow and evolve and have a personality on its own. I can't imagine that. Then it will be another you living in the virtual world to experience different things that you don't actually experience because in the virtual world. Oh, I don't know. That can be very interesting. I think it can be a very interesting project to even explore from now. That's the question I want to have for you guys. Please comment. I know I've talked a lot about this video, but truly what I want to say is, how do you feel about yourself creating digital version of you, living in different digital space, or present yourself in a different way? Do you feel that's liberating or that's scary? Anyway, I just find this project really inspire me to explore more about identity. We don't really have to trap in our own identity. Because of technology, we can explore different ways to living in the virtual world. You don't want it to be present yourself in the perfect way. You just maybe want to be the funny one. You want to be the weird one in that space. That's kind of liberating and feel the sense of freedom, don't you think? And when you think about different artists like Björk, she is one of my favorite musician artists. She always using virtual avatar, and then the way she presents herself, we don't know who really Björk is. But the way she presents herself with different artistic packaging of herself, like different kind of identities and way to explore her music, we can soon do that. The reason why I want to make this video is to inspire you guys to explore different identities and different packaging of yourself, or different identities of you in the digital world, online world, without thinking who you really are. And it's gonna be really fun. I did a little like a face swapping with AI with Björk, and then I feel like, oh my god, if I can use that avatar to build a digital world, like a really strange world, I can be the weird me inside that space. Do I feel like I'm living it? Also, the past week, I was sick. I really wish I had a digital avatar or some kind of avatar to make myself exist in a certain space and share my idea with you guys without me showing up. Do you think that will be impossible to do in the future? Or what kind of idea you have? What kind of situation make you feel like you want a different version of you? What if in the next 24 hours, create your own avatar online? Or if you get a chance to go to the VR and feel yourself inside it and the virtual space, and let me know how you feel about it. I'm really curious, the first experience you entering VR, or you already so used to being in the virtual worlds, but you want to create different avatar, different self, different identity in a different world. Because in the digital space, you got to decide who you are. And I believe the future identity is not about one version of us. It's the multiple and unlimited, infinite version of us. That's it for today's episode. I really hope you enjoy it. If you have any ideas, if you have any experience, please share with me in the comments. And I wanted to keep exploring topics like this that I'm really interested in a lot of artists' work. They open up a new world for me, and I want to share that with you guys. Thank you so much for your time. Please subscribe my channel for new updates every week. I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. Bye.